everyone, good afternoon. It's 2 o'clock on Friday, that means it's Stamp and Chat Live, and I'm hoping that I'm live in your homes. I'm just going to double check my iPad and make sure that you can see what I want you to. I'm sorry about the phone. Long story, there always seems to be a long story on a Friday, doesn't there? My husband's going to get that. We have a landline in my craft room and the plug into the wall for it is behind the furniture, so I can't just unplug it when I'm videoing, and it doesn't have an on-off for the volume. It's a very basic phone, the volume's just on for the ringer. So anyway, I left it on instead of taking it off because we've got a problem with our central heating and the plumber is supposed to be contacting us today. And I've waited all morning for the phone call and I'm just wondering if that's the phone call. Anyway, let me just check my iPad and make sure you can see me. Okay, just got to refresh that and see if I'm there. Looks like I probably am. Make sure that's this week's and not last week's. Yes, I think it is. Turn the volume right down because otherwise I get me in stereo and that's one too many. It looks like there's a couple of you there watching, which is fabulous. I can't see who you are yet, so do type a little comment and say hello and then I shall know who you are. So yes, there always seems to be a story, doesn't there, with my week. We noticed that our central heating wasn't turning off, which is an awful lot better than your central heating not coming on. But we've got a valve or something that's gone in our central heating system and it needs replacing, which means the whole system needs to be drained down and the valve replaced, and then it all, whatever you do when you've drained your system, filled it up, I suppose. Of course we would like it done before Christmas. And of course the plumbers are booked up until Christmas, but the very nice guy who came out and had a look said that he would be willing to work late after he'd done his normal jobs to come and do it for us. So I'm really hoping that's what that phone call was for. So yes, last Friday before Christmas, are you ready? Have you done your shopping? Have you written your cards? I have actually got all my cards posted. If you've been watching this every week, you will know that writing the Christmas cards is a job that I struggle a bit with. I love to make them, but I've never got them written in time. But they were all written and sent off several days ago, so I'm very pleased about that. If you haven't had yours from me yet, you will be. They are in the post, I promise. I've done all the Christmas shopping. That was done about a week ago. I've wrapped about half, so that's progress. My husband is running his second online Zoom Christmas party for work tonight. He did one last week. You may have seen a photo of that. So while he's doing that, I'm going to pour myself a glass of something festive and do some more wrapping, I think. So let me see if anybody has said hello. Lorraine's here. Lorraine says hello everyone. Lovely jumper. Thank you, Lorraine. Yes, it's a bit warm because my craft room's really warm. I've actually got a window open in here at the moment because I can't get the radiator to go cold. But it is festive. If I stand up, you might be able to see that I've got gingerbread men and hearts and snowflakes and all sorts on there. Okay, so there we are. That's my festive jumper. You can probably see I have got my microphone on. I know the sound quality isn't perfect with this and I have to try to remember not to move my head too much, but hopefully it's clear enough for you. Belinda's saying hi to me, hi to everyone. Hi Belinda. Mary's here. Mary says hello. Lovely. So you're very welcome, you three, and I'm very glad you've taken an hour to just sit and breathe this afternoon. This time of year gets so busy, doesn't it? There is so much to do. It can get completely crazy. So I'm going to be seeing my daughter tomorrow, which is really, really nice. And then she'll be coming back properly for Christmas next week. We're still in tier 2, aren't we? I'd really hoped they might move us down to tier 1, but I suppose that was a bit optimistic, really, given that Christmas is coming and everybody's likely to be meeting more people over Christmas. My in-laws are in Kent in tier 3, the worst hit place in the country apparently, so I don't envy them that. I think they're just staying put. Yeah, very, very sad for people like that. Alright, so what have you been up to this week? Type a little comment and tell me if you're ready for Christmas. What's new in the world of Stampin' Up? I made a list actually, so I didn't forget to tell you. The new catalogue is coming soon. I'm very excited. I gave you a sneak peek last week and there's lots of beautiful things in it. I'm going to be posting out catalogue packs next week. So whether you're watching this live or watching this on the replay, if you're an existing customer or a class attendee and I've sort of seen you or dealt with you in the last 6 months, that will be on its way to you. If you don't think that you're on that list, but you would like to get a copy of the spring and summer catalogue, the January to June mini catalogue, let me know, and I will get one in the post to you. My aim is that they will arrive with you between Christmas and New Year, so they won't get buried in the wrapping paper, and they will hopefully arrive when things have calmed down a little bit and you've got time to sit there and page through. Celebration starts on the 5th of January, the same day as the catalogue launches. If you've been with me for a while, you will know that Celebration is a big promotion that we have normally between beginning of January and the end of March. Now it's a little bit different for 2021. The January promotion is for January and February, but not March. And instead of giving us a first, a second and a third release of free products, we've only got one release. So I will include a Celebration brochure in your catalogue pack for you. And what you see in there is due to be available for January and February. There won't be any extra things coming. Personally, I think that's quite a good thing, because I think it's just got a little bit complicated for the last few years. And I also think by the time we get to March, most people have got what they liked from the brochure. There isn't anything else they like, and a lot of people end up getting duplicates. But instead of us having it in March as well, we're actually going to get another Celebration in the summer, which I will tell you about again nearer the time. But I think it's great to have two celebrations with two sets of different products. So getting it twice a year has got to be a good thing. In the the January-February Celebration promotion, the way it works is the way it has always worked, which, if you can't remember or you haven't come across it before, means for every £45 you spend in one go on products from either of the Stampin' Up catalogues, you can choose a product for free from the Celebration brochure. And if you spend two lots of £45, if you spend £90, then you can choose two items. If you spend £135, you can spend three items, and so on. It doesn't include your shipping fees. It's how much you spend on products. And if you do spend £90, there are a few items which are a higher value, so you can choose one of those instead of two of the lower value items if you like. And they're all marked in the catalogue what you have to spend to get that amount. There are 9 different things to choose from, and they are stamps and paper, and one of them is a pack of paper and a set of coordinating stamps. That's one of the £90 spend items. They haven't included embellishments or tools in this brochure, the reason being that those items tend to be made in China, and China has obviously Chinese New Year, and during their New Year all the factories close down for several weeks. And if something proves to be unexpectedly popular, so the stocks in our warehouses run out, we can't get new ones made and shipped air freight quickly to us to get them in time for Celebration. And you may remember in previous years we have often run out of things which were unexpectedly popular quite early on. The stamps and the paper are much easier to get extra stocks of. The stamps themselves are manufactured in the United States in a factory owned and run by Stampin' Up, so they can get new stocks of those turned around and air shipped to us in the UK very, very quickly. So that's a difference you might notice if you've been doing Celebration for a while. So yes, Celebration coming, very exciting. I am going on holiday, well, not going on holiday, I'm having a holiday, staying at home from the end of today, and I won't be working until Monday the 4th of January. So if you email me or send me a message, please don't expect a reply until the 4th of January. Sometimes I do cave and have a look at my emails, so sometimes I reply, but I'm not promising to. I think by now everyone has placed any orders that they wanted to, and won't really be crafting very much, probably, at least not until after Christmas. Maybe between Christmas and New Year you'll manage some crafting. So by all means send me an email or any other kind of message, and I promise I will deal with it and answer with it when I get back from holiday. There is not going to be a Stampin' Chat next Friday because I will be cooking turkey, and I'm sure you will too. And 2 weeks today is New Year's Day, and I also will not be doing a Stampin' Chat. So the next one of these live will be on the 8th of January. I haven't quite decided what I'll be doing for that yet. It's going to involve some new things, but I will put a little event here on the Facebook group, or Facebook page I should say, to tell you what I'll be doing a little bit nearer the time, but that's 3 weeks away, so you don't need to worry about what we'll be covering just yet. So let me see if anyone's commented or asked a question. Okay, so, oh, Belinda's got her Christmas card and she's pleased with it. You're very welcome, Belinda. And Prudence is here. Hi, Prudence, you're very welcome. All right, so I think that was everything I needed to remember to say to you. So I'm going to cover over the lens while I move to a hands down view with my camera, and then I'm going to show you, I've got 3 ideas for quick Christmas gifts. So if you haven't quite got everything done, or if you just would like to have something spare by you, then these are some quick ideas. So bear with me, I'll try and remember to keep talking, and I'm just going to move my camera. Okay, so as always, I've got to not only move the camera, but I have to move the camera stand. And I also have to change some settings on my camera, so it takes me just a little while to actually get that organised. Okay, let's see if I can get the buttons to work to change the settings, and let's see if I can avoid giving myself a special effect, which I really don't need. Okay. It's gone my favourite colour, bright pink. Alright, so I'm going to take the post-it off, but if you're prone to motion sickness, don't look yet, because I'll still have a little bit of fiddling to do to make sure that you can see everything. And as always, I have to wait for my iPad to catch up to be sure of what you can see. Okay, I need to just move that in a little bit, I think. Got my light on, but there is still a little bit of shadowing, so my apologies for that. I'm still tweaking. That's probably about as good as I'm going to get it. All right, so what you can see here, this is the first of my quick Christmas gifts. So it is a little box of Cadbury's Heroes. The weight on this is something funny. Let me have a look at the spare one I've got here. 78 grams. So it's a funny little box of Heroes, but I thought it was perfect for a little gift. I've actually made these for my postman and for my UPS delivery driver. So I've wrapped the box with some pretty paper, and then I've made just a little easel card attached to the top. So even when they've eaten the chocolates out of there, they can leave the box in for the shape and put this up on the mantelpiece or somewhere. And that's the inside. So I'm going to show you how to make this. The other 2 ideas I've got are much quicker than this. This is a little bit more involved if you want to do the easel, but you could actually adapt it and just make an ordinary card that sits on the top, which would be a little bit quicker to do. Or you could just wrap up the box and not have a card on there at all, and that would still be nice. I don't imagine anybody is going to turn their nose up at that. So I'm going to move that one out of the way and show you how I did it. Now, if you want to make something similar but you can't get these, you want to do something different, you can do exactly the same idea with a box of matchmakers, a box of Maltesers, pretty much anything, any kind of smallish chocolate box will work beautifully. Now, the first thing to do is to work out how big you need your piece of paper that's going to wrap around to be. So I just got my ruler and measured the box and wrote down the measurements. So I measured across there, and then I measured there, and I measured there, and I measured the other side. So I added up those 4 measurements. I added on an overlap. Ideally you want about 1 inch, but you can do it with as little as 1/4 of an inch. And then I cut a piece of Snowflake Splendor paper to that measurement. Now for this box, these are the measurements that I used. So my patterned paper was 11 inches long to go all the way around with an overlap, and across here is 4 5/8 inches. Now this is a slightly funny box. I don't know if you can see, but it tapers in like that. So the measurement for the width I took at the top here, even though that measurement is actually slightly narrower. So if I show you the box, you can see that there is a little bit of extra paper here, and I decided not to trim it. I thought that was just getting complicated. I think it sits fine, even though there's a little lip there. I'll take a photograph of this and put all these measurements up on my Facebook page when I've finished. So if you can get this exact same box of heroes, you can just work on these measurements, but I'll also show you how to get the size you want for whatever it is you're making. So that was how to get the right size of my piece of paper, which is here. So I'm just going to attach that around the box. And I started off measuring and then scoring and folding, but actually it's trickier to do than you would think to do that, because even when you measure exactly, because the paper is going on top of the box, those measurements are just slightly wrong, and then you end up with a score line that's got just the things are not quite in the right place. So I decided in the end the best way to do it is to wrap the paper round. I've got the overlap at the bottom, and then I just pinch it along all four sides like this, and this will put a crease into it, and then I can take it off and reinforce that fold properly with my bone folder, and I know that it's going to be in the right place. So if I now take the chocolates away, you can see that I have got folds in there. So I'm just going to fold properly now on those creases and use my bone folder, and then I will end up with really nice crisp corners, and I know it's going to fit exactly. So whatever your chocolates are, I suggest you do it this way. Okay, so if I now wrap that around my box, that fits beautifully, and I've got lovely neat corners. So now I just need some glue on the back. You can use Seal Plus, or you can use tear and tape. I tend to use my trusty multi-purpose glue, never lets me down. There, so I'm just going to centre the box on the paper. Pull that paper tight and then just press down the join. Now I will say this is the third one of these I'm making, and the first two measured exactly the same, but when I made the third one, I was just checking the paper around it, and I realised that this box is not the same size as the others. It was only about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little bit over 1/8 of an inch different, but it really noticed. So if you're doing more than one, just check them all. Don't assume that just because they're exactly the same product, they're going to be all the same size. Gillian's here. Hello Gillian, nice to see you again. Welcome, welcome. All right, so that has wrapped up my Heroes box in the paper. So now I just need to make a card for the top. And we did Easel Cards last week, and this one works on exactly the same principle. And again, I will put up the photograph with all the measurements for you at the end. But my easel top here is 7.5 by 4 5/8 of an inch, and I've scored it twice. So let me show you what that looks like. What that means is I've got a piece of card which is the same size as the top of my box twice. So half of it sits on the box and half of it sits beyond. And I've cut it. It's very fractionally smaller. I don't know if you can see, so I've just got a tiny border of paper showing around it. So I folded it, I scored it down the middle, and then I've scored half of that down the middle again. And that, as you will remember from last week, gives us an easel card. So that's like an ordinary card, and then the front is just scored in half. That folds back on itself. And then I need a second piece of card the same size as effectively the card front. So if that was an ordinary card, I'd have a second piece the same size as the card front. And then when that is folded back, this will attach on there, and then I can prop it up as my easel. Just make sure I'm holding this somewhere where you can see it. I need to pull it down a little bit. I think I'm slightly off the top, aren't I? There we are. So that's how that will work. And then I'll just bring my completed one back and show you how I decorated the top. So I have a layer of paper here, then I've got a stamped piece on top. So that's what I'm going to do now, and those are all mounted on this separate panel, and then all of that will sit on top of this folded one. So I'm hoping that makes sense. If it doesn't, shout. Well, don't shout because I won't hear you. Type a comment. All right, so I've got a piece of patterned paper, so it's from the same Snowflake Splendor pack as before, and it's the same pattern that I've wrapped around the box. So I'm just going to pop that on there. And then I'm going to stamp a piece of white card to go in the centre. I've got two of the coordinating colours. I've got Pacific Point and I've got Highland Heather to do my stamping with. Jackie's here. Hi Jackie. You're saying you love it. I'm very pleased. Yes, you absolutely can watch on replay the bit you've missed. That is the joy of a video, isn't it? You'll be able to just watch what you've missed at the end. I will be putting the measurements up as well at the end, Jackie. So if you want to see the measurements I used for this particular box of chocolates, you'll have them there. So I've stamped Snowflake Wishes for a Merry Christmas in the middle, and I'm just going to stamp some snowflakes around the edge. Now, Pacific Point is quite an intense colour, and I want the words to be what jump out at you. So although I'm going to stamp some snowflakes in the same blue, I'm going to stamp the ink off once, so there's less on the stamp, and then it won't be quite so dominating when I stamp on here. And I tend to like to do things in odd numbers, so I'm going to do 3 of these, like that. Then I'm going to come in with a smaller snowflake in the same colour, and then I'm going to add some snowflakes in Highland Heather. So once again, I've stamped off with this one. And then I'll close that up before I lean on it and bring in my Highland Heather ink. Oh, Jackie, you're watching in bed. You're still coughing. I'm so sorry. I would have hoped you were feeling better by now. Let's hope that you feel much better over the weekend, and then you can go into next week feeling more like yourself. So I love this little stamp. It's kind of a wiggly line, and it means you can sort of fit it around the other images. I've just made a smudge there, so I'm just going to stamp a snowflake over the top of it. There we go. So I haven't stamped off the Highland Heather because it's a much less intense colour. And I'm just really turning the stamp and just adding some snowflakes all around the words, so I've got a border there. Let's just put a couple more there, I think. And maybe in there. There we are. So that's my piece for the front. And I'm also going to add a few of the self-adhesive snowflakes, if I can find them on my desk. There they are. If you haven't got any of these in your stash, then I'm afraid you won't be able to get them because they've sold out. They were very, very popular, and I can see why. But I've got a few left over, as you can see, so I'm just going to add some of those for a little bit of shine. If you haven't got these, then rhinestones would look lovely too. They're very sparkly. So I'm popping one in the center of those big snowflakes, and then I think I'll dot just 2 or 3 more around. One there on that smudge. There we are. I think that's probably enough. So that then is my panel for the top of the front of the easel. So that's going to layer on here, and then I can put the card together. Jackie says the snowflakes are pretty. Oh no, sold out. Yeah, they're sold out, I'm afraid, Jackie. I think they went almost instantly. I had some customers who were disappointed, unfortunately, and couldn't get them. So it's very important to get what you love when you see it from a new catalogue, because sometimes things don't last all the way until the catalogue finally expires. There's always a period when the things which are not continuing over are available only while stocks last, so get them at the beginning. When you get your catalogue, if your wish list is absolutely enormous, then it's always a really good deal to join Stampin' Up. You don't necessarily have to demonstrate, you don't have to run classes, you can join for your hobby, and you can get an awful lot of things included there. I'll be talking more about that after Christmas. Alright, so that's my front panel. This is my easel. If I turn that sideways, this is the section here that's going to stick onto the front of my card. So I'm just going to put glue on that folded back part. Jackie, you're on steroids and antibiotics, but at least it's not COVID. Well done for looking on the bright side. I'm very glad indeed that it isn't COVID, but nonetheless it's not nice to be poorly, so you look after yourself. A little light crafting when you're feeling better will probably be just the job. There we are. So that is my easel card there already. Now I just need to sort out the inside. So if I bring back my completed one, on the inside I've just got a layer of patterned paper. I've got a small piece here to write on because I want that to be hidden when the card is up on the easel like that. I didn't want that bit poking out down here. And then I've got a little stopper piece which you need just so you can tuck the bottom front edge of the card under it, and that's what then supports it as it stands up. So let me just do those. I've got my piece of patterned paper here. Interesting. Can't see the piece. I did cut a piece for the inside. Never mind, I'll cut another piece. Let's bring in my trimmer and find my measurements. What do I need? 3 7/8 wide by 1.5. I'll find that, of course, as soon as I've cut this new piece. Okay, so that's my piece to write on. I'm going to add just a few of these tiny snowflakes to it, just on diagonally opposite corners. There we are. And then I just need to attach that in place. So I'm putting this at the top rather than centrally because I don't want it to show when the easel is propped up. And then that goes inside. Candy's here. Hello Candy, nice to have you. How's that puppy of yours doing? Candy has just got the most adorable puppy. Okay, there we go. So that now is going to go on the front of my card. Jackie's had to have a COVID test. That really is no fun whatsoever. I haven't had to have one, but I absolutely would not want to. I mean, I would, obviously. I don't want you thinking I'd refuse, but yeah, not fun. All right, so that's my easel. Now all I need on there is the stopper. So I've punched out a little circle of blue card, and I'm just going to stamp a snowflake on some white and then punch that out. I saw my snowflake stamp somewhere. There we are. So I'm going to use Pacific Point on that again. Okay. Oh yeah, Jackie's pointing out that when you join Stampin' Up, you also get access to things earlier. You do. I mean, that's how I've got my new products, because you can order them a whole month early if you're a demonstrator, which is really, really nice. That's a treat. You get to see the catalogue about 6 weeks early, and you get to order products about a month early. There are lots and lots of perks of joining Stampin' Up. You get a lot of free products when you join. If you join during Celebration, that's during January and February, then you're going to get 5 stacks of patterned paper one in each of the colour families and one in the 2020, 2022 in colours. So that's 6x6 paper stacks. I haven't added up how many pieces of paper it is, but it's hundreds. So you always have something that will match every single project. It's over £50 worth of free paper when you join during Celebration. And in any case, you get over £30 worth of free products when you join, of your products of your choice. So that's always a bonus. Alright, so now I just need to add this stopper. I've popped some dimensionals on the back there because I need it raised up, so there's a way of tucking that front edge under it. And then I'm just going to add this centrally. I could measure this, but I'm not going to. Looks about right. And there we are. So that is the completed project. Now, I did have the card and paper cut, admittedly, but I didn't have any of the stamping done. I didn't have anything glued together, and that has taken me 15 minutes to make. So although it looks like it's taken hours and hours, it is a fairly straightforward project. Marjorie's here. Hi Marjorie, lovely to have you joining us. Marjorie's saying happy Christmas. I'm just trying to get some of this ink off my fingers. I've only done one project and I'm covered in ink. Never mind. Okay, so that is the first project. So if you've just joined me, this is a small box of Cadbury's Heroes, and I've made a little wrap for it out of pattern paper, and then I've popped an easel card on the top. And I've made 3 of these now, so I'm going to be giving those away to my postie and my UPS driver. I'm not sure the best place to pop these for you to see them, but hopefully you can see them there. Maybe I'll pull them down a little bit. Rosie's joining us from hospital. Rosie, hi. Have you been done? Are you just recuperating, or are you still waiting to go down? It's a treat to have you here. And Sandy's here too. Better late than never. Sandy says hi everyone. Okay, Mary says, can I lower the project is going out of sight? I will try and do better, Mary. I'm hoping you can see these now. And I'm sorry about that. I should be keeping a closer eye on my iPad to see that. So I'm just cleaning these inky stamps, and then I'm going to move everything and bring in another project for you. Rosie's been done and your legs don't work. No, I'm not surprised, Rosie, having had things done to your back. So I hope very much that you are okay. You probably feel woozy and strange, but hopefully you feel relieved, and hopefully you're not in a lot of pain. Right, I'm trying, oh there we go, there's my stamp box. Okay, so let's put that one there. I'm just going to pop my stamps away. Have you ever had one of these photopolymer stamps that you can't find and then you find it stuck to something else? I try really hard to put them back in the box the minute I've finished with them, because otherwise they do seem to get stuck to things. Okay, so Sandy's sending a love to Rosie and she hopes you feel better very soon. Rosie's relieved and in pain but enjoying the distraction. Poor you, Rosie, poor thing. Jackie's saying, how do you get rid of the comment columns? If you don't want to see the comments, Jackie, I think if you turn whatever you're looking on landscape, the comments disappear, I believe. But I'm not an expert. If somebody knows different, then please tell Jackie if she doesn't want to see the comments. It can be a bit distracting, I know. Right, I'm just clearing the decks a bit. Let's move those now. And I'll bring in the next project. Now, people who are in my team, who are watching this, will have seen this before, because we did this at one of my team meetings. We've been having team meetings online once a month instead of being able to meet up together. But I hope you will forgive me nonetheless, because it's a nice project and it is extremely quick. So I'm just pulling in all the bits and pieces I need. me move that down a bit. That's still a bit high, isn't it? There we go. Oh, Jackie says she's on her iPad. She's already landscape and she wants bigger pictures. Mary's got hers landscape and she hasn't got any comments. Okay, so if you have got comments and you're already landscape, Jackie, I'm not sure. Have you tried tapping the picture? Sometimes that will open up on a bigger scale and you sort of lose the, the other bits and pieces that you don't need. I'm not sure if I said Rosie, but Sandy says she hopes you feel better very soon. Rosie, oh, this was just, yes, Rosie made one of these with me and she says it's just the job for hiding a gift voucher. Yes, Rosie hid a gift voucher in here amongst the chocolates and it did look absolutely brilliant. It was a really good idea. Antriana's here. Hi, Antriana. Ah, she's got a tip. Swipe the screen where the comments are and they'll disappear. Fabulous. Thank you, Antriana. Nice to have an expert on. Brilliant. Okay, so Jackie, hopefully if you swipe the screen where the comments are, you will find that they disappear and you've got a bigger picture of the bits that you do want to look at. All right, so this is a little acetate box with goodies in it. Now, you could fill it up with pound coins, you could fill it up with chocolate money, which is what I'm going to do when I make mine. You could do what Rosie did, and she folded up a gift voucher and popped it in the middle and then surrounded it with, I can't remember if it was chocolate, I think it was chocolates, wasn't it, Rosie, not coins, so that the voucher was pretty much hidden. I've got roses in here. So anything like that, it actually makes a very small gift look really nice. Perfect for your Christmas table if you do table gifts. Nice for just, you know, a little gift for someone where you just want to give a token present, but you don't want to have to spend a lot of money. I know a lot of people have got these tiny treat boxes in their stash. So they come in a pack of, I can't remember, 16 treat boxes. And when you get them, and pull one out of the box, they look like this, and they look a little bit like, I don't know if you can see that, the plastic has melted, but that is a protective layer, so you just pull that off. So do that when you are ready to use them, and it just stops the box from getting scratched. So that is rubbish. So Jackie's saying, thanks, she tapped the screen and she found extending the arrows to get the full screen, the swipe's not working for her. Okay, never mind. So Rosie's saying she put chocolates in, then wrapped it 5 times. Bad Rosie. Okay, I'm not getting the bad Rosie. I'm sure you weren't bad Rosie. All right, so to make this then, I've taken the extra plastic that protected the box off it, and then it's scored everywhere, and I'm just opened it up and then I'm scoring, not scoring, I'm folding on all these sections. I know some of you have used these before. I always have a little pack of them by me because they are just perfect. If you suddenly think, oh gosh, I need a present for somebody, it's actually very easy to quickly put one together. So I'm just folding and then reopening all of these little tabs. And then the top you will see has got 2 flaps and then a tuck-in lid. I'm going to obviously do that last or I won't be able to fill it. If I turn it over, this probably isn't the easiest thing to show you on camera. Let me have a look. If I put my stamping mat underneath, I don't know if that's going to be any easier to see. Let's see if it is when you've got something dark under it. So there is one flap here which has got like a half a rectangle cut out, or a whole rectangle actually cut out of the edge. That's the one to close first on the bottom. And then the 2 side tabs fold over, and then if you push them down, they will tuck themselves inside of that cut out rectangle. And then finally I've got this tab, which is a shaped tab, and that's the last one to go in. And again, I lay it flat and then I push it in and it will tuck in to that rectangle. And then that's the bottom of my box closed. Sometimes if they're just pushed up a little bit, you just lay it on a flat surface and then just poke in with your bone folder, and then that will flatten out nicely. So that's my box closed up. The next thing to do is to fill it with goodies. So I've got some chocolate money here, and I've got a couple of little mini candy canes as well. So let's fill it up with good things. And then closing it is very straightforward. I'm just trying to get what's in there to lie level. There we are. So I'll just fold down those two side tabs and then tuck in the flap. So that's my box of goodies. I mean, it looks nice like that, but I am going to wrap some paper around it. So I've cut a piece of patterned paper and I'll put that there. So this patterned paper is 2 inches by 8.5 inches. So each of these sides is 2 inches. So the width of my paper is 2 inches. It's actually, I think, fractionally over 2 inches, but anyway, 2 inches. And then that gives me enough to go on the top, and then I'm going to punch the ends to give a decoration and a hole for my ribbon, and that at 8.5 inches will give me the length I need to do that. Okay, Rosie was saying the present was a lot of money, a special trip to see tanks and even go in the workshop. Well, that sounds a fabulous present, Rosie. Oh, bad because it was huge when it was finished. Oh, an old boot box. Right, so you did a sort of a pass the parcel with it, Rosie, didn't you? Rosie's saying, did I rob the Toy Town Bank? Almost. I've actually had to have these hidden away. My family have a nose for chocolate. I have to keep things hidden if I want them for things like this. Rosie enjoyed her money. I'm very pleased. When I sent out my team packs for the December meeting, I threw in a few chocolate coins because why not? It's Christmas. So here is my piece of pattern paper. This is from the Christmas Gleaming, I think it's called, or Brightly Gleaming. Perhaps it's called Brightly Gleaming, the pack, but it's from that set anyway. I'm going to use the stars. Now, obviously, you can do this for a birthday as well. Anybody likes getting a little box of chocolates for their birthday. You just choose different paper. Do it for Mother's Day. Anything like that will work beautifully. And I've got here the Scalloped tag topper punch. So this will shape the top of my paper and it will cut out a slot for the ribbon at the same time. So I'm just going to push that paper all the way into the back and then punch it. And the paper will fit in there perfectly if it's 2 inches wide. And so there is my paper with the fancy top. Let me lay it on there and hopefully show you. So that's really super quick. We've got, I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 patterns of tag topper punch in the catalogue, and honestly they are such a time saver. So what I'm going to do now is wrap the paper round, and exactly as I did with the box of chocolates, I'm not going to score it first. I'm going to wrap it round and then fold it on those score lines. So I just need to make sure that as I wrap it around the very top, they are even. Move it a little bit closer. Rosie's saying a christening gift. She could put premium bonds for her grandson. That's a really nice idea. There we are. So I've just wrapped this round. Those just about meet on the top. And then I'm just going to pinch on the corners exactly as I did for the first project. And then I'll take it off and I'll reinforce those properly with my bone folder. But it just means that those score lines will be in the perfect place rather than trying to measure, which inevitably comes out as sort of 1/16 of an inch or something. This is a really easy way to do it. Jackie loves these boxes. They are terrific, Jackie. They're they're brilliant plain, but just a little bit of decoration really turns them into something special. Belinda enjoyed her chocolate money too. Yeah, Belinda's in my team too, which is lucky. I do have the best team. The treats never last long in this house. No, I don't think they do anywhere, Belinda, do they? I mean, at the moment, we all need treats, don't we? Oh, Jackie said mini Easter eggs. Now, wouldn't that be absolutely perfect? I've never done one with mini Easter eggs, Jackie, but I think next year will be the year. That's a fabulous idea. Thank you. So now my paper is wrapped around the box. I just need a little bit of ribbon on it. So I've got some old olive ribbon here because some of the stars in here are old olive, but you can use whatever you like. So that just threads through, you can see, and it will draw this up tightly, but I am going to pop a tag on the ribbon before I tie it. So I'm just going to move all that out of the way and work on the tag first. So I've got some white card and somewhere, yes, here we go, I've got the Timeless label punch, And I've also got some Old Olive card. So I'm going to punch one of these from Old Olive card. I'm going to punch one from, I've got Whisper White here. I actually need very vanilla for that. Let me grab a piece of vanilla. Good thing I'm in my craft room. Okay. Right, some vanilla. And I'm going to punch one of those as well. But to get a layered effect, I'm actually going to snip off some of this. I'm just going to snip off that straight edge so I end up with a sort of an oval shape. So you could rule a line and follow that, but I do a lot of things by eye. So I'm just cutting off that straight edge there. You could do that on your trimmer as well. So that will now fit on that. So I've now got an Old Olive border on there. And I'm just going to stamp a little to and from on there. So I've used the Itty Bitty Christmas set and this stamp here, to and from, and I've got some Old Olive ink somewhere. And I'm just going to put that slightly along so that I've got space to punch a hole. So I'll attach those two together and then I will punch a hole and thread it on the ribbon. So any old hole punch, I've got a crocodile which sets eyelets and punches two sizes of hole and almost does the washing up for you, but you don't need anything quite as fancy as this. There we go. So now if I bring back my box and I can thread the ribbon through the tag. If I was giving this now, I would write that before I thread it on here because that will make life a lot easier. And then just tie a bow and then my gift is done. So this is actually super quick to do. It's a piece of paper wrapped round with the ends punched and a very simple little stamped tag. There we go. Cut the ends of my ribbon. Let me see if I can reach my ribbon scissors. Yes, I can. There we go. Now I've forgotten to ask you to share this video, so if you can click that share button, that really helps me get seen by people that might not otherwise find my videos but who might enjoy them. So if you're able to like or love this and then click on the share and share that to your Facebook page, that would be brilliant. So thank you very much in advance for doing that. So there we are. Let me bring in both of these to show you. So whether you go with chocolates or chocolate money or Easter eggs or jewellery, I mean, you could fit quite a lot of diamond jewellery in one of those, couldn't you? Anything like that would be perfect. So Rosie's saying that she's got a single hole punch. That was a gift from a teammate at a convention. Can't remember who, but it might have been the lovely Pam. I think it might have been Pam. And it's invaluable. Yeah, hole punches, they're great. We all need one of those. So there we go. That is my second quick gift using the clear tiny treat boxes. So you'll find those in the annual catalogue. They're a basic staple and I really recommend that you get yourself a pack next time you're ordering. They're not very expensive and they're so handy to have by you. So I will put a photograph of that sheet with the sizes of the paper up on my Facebook page when I've finished today's video, so you'll have that as well for reference. I'm just going to clear away and then I've got one final project for you, which is probably the quickest of all of them. But I must move some of the debris, otherwise I've got nowhere to work. And I'm also going to clean that stamp before I lean on it. Oh, Jackie, you've shared it and liked it. I am super grateful. Thank you so much. That's great. Okay. Mary's saying, has anybody else lost me? Has anybody else lost me? Have you lost everything, Mary? I suppose if you've lost the sound, you won't be able to hear me asking you that, will you? I hope nobody else has lost me. Oh, Gillian, thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that. Okay, so the last thing then is almost not a project at all. So it involves some more treats. So what are these? Quality Street. So this is one of the cellophane bags. These are in the annual catalogue. Oh, and Mary's back. I'm glad you're back. And Belinda's hearing it okay. Gillian's saying no, so I'm assuming that means you haven't lost it, Gillian. And Triana says it. So it might just have been you, Mary. It's blowing a gale here, so maybe you just had a wobble in your internet connection, but I'm glad you're back. So this is one of the cellophane bags. They're, as I say, they're from the annual catalogue. They've got a nice print on them already. All I've done is throw some Quality Street in there before my family could get hold of them. And I'm just going to make a tag to go on there. So I've got some scraps of patterned paper here. This is from the, oh, Belinda, you'll tell me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the Heartwarming Hugs pack. I've got some scraps of ribbon and a stamp. So you need very little in the way of materials for this. So I've got a little piece of white card. This was a scrap as well. It doesn't really matter how long it is. That just depends on how long you want your tag. But width-wise, this is 2 inches because I'm going to use the delightful Tag Topper Punch. Now I can use card of varying widths in here. The widest is 2 inches, and then it goes down in quarter inch increments, and I always write it on the back. So 2 inches, 1.5 inches, or 1 inch will fit on these little steps here. So I've got 2 inches. I just slide it in there all the way to the back and then press down. And I suggest you start off with a piece longer than you want because it is going to cut a little bit off the length. And then you can kind of, when you've done that, you can hold it against your bag and see how long it needs to be. Okay, yeah, it does, right, it does mean that you could hear me okay. Excellent, Gillian, thank you. So Jackie's saying it's all good there, and Gillian shared it and told her that it was on. Is it a regular slot each week? Yes, it's a regular slot each week, Jackie, 2 o'clock every Friday, but not next week or the week after, because I'm not doing this on Christmas Day or New Year's Day, because I will be busy doing other things. So after this week, I will be back on the 8th of January, and then it will be every Friday. Unless there's some kind of unforeseen circumstances, but hopefully that won't happen. So let me find my stamping mat again, and I can just pop this on and show you the design. This is a really pretty one. So that's cut me a round hole for my ribbon, and it's also shaped the top of this, all just done in one press down of the punch. So Belinda's saying yes, the paper I've picked out is Heartwarming Hugs. Thank you, Belinda. So all I'm going to do on here is really just put on some scraps of paper. I'm going to do a torn edge on this just for a change. So let me tear that piece. And in case you didn't know, if you tear the paper towards you, you end up with a white edge showing. And I'll do the bottom because I'm not going to need that section. If I tear the paper away from me, so the bit I'm tearing off is going away from me, then you end up with the colour going all the way up to the edge of the tear. So again, let me pop this on here, and I'm hoping that if I hold that up you can see both of those. So that bit was torn away from me. No, sorry, that one was torn towards me, and that one was torn away from me. So depending on whether you want the white edge or the coloured edge showing, then you can tear it one way or the other. So I'm just going to glue that on to my paper. So I'm just going to tear off some of the excess that I'm not going to need, and I'm going to put glue on my tag because my paper is much bigger, and rather than try and cut it exactly to size, I'm just going to put glue on my tag where I want my paper and stick the paper on, and then cut off the excess. So if I turn that over, I can very easily see straight away where I don't need the paper and just trim it off. And I think that is actually quicker than trying to cut everything to size. And if you're time pressed, even if you can save a few seconds here and there, I think that all helps. Belinda had forgotten the tip about tearing. Happy to remind you, Belinda, no problem. And Jackie said she didn't know that tip either. Excellent. Okay. Rosie's customers nearly have a heart attack if she asks them to tear paper. A lot of mine do as well, actually, Rosie, so I can understand that. Okay, Rosie's laughing that I'm going to be busy doing other things on the next 2 Fridays. And Jackie's going to put it in her diary and check on the day. Absolutely, Jackie, excellent. I also do a Facebook event on my page as a reminder, and I also put in there what I'm going to be doing and some suggestions as to what things you might want to gather together if you want to craft along with me. But I know a lot of people watch it, and then if they want to make the projects, they craft afterwards. So whatever way works for you will be fine. So I've got another bit here, another scrap. This is one of those bits that you get when you've cut paper for your cards and you end up with an odd strip. I don't know about you, but I try not to throw anything much away. So I'm just going to tear this, and I want the white edge, so I'm going to tear it towards me. This is much longer than I need. How much of it do I need? Oh, that's plenty, I think. Let's just tear that piece off. And then I'm going to tear the other side as well. There we are. And then I'm just going to pop that on top. So, you know, I could put that anywhere really. I could put it near the top, in the middle. I think I will go with in the middle. Let's just stick that on there. There we are. And then same again, trimming it from the back means I haven't had to measure anything. So I've cut out that step, which makes life much quicker. Alright, so that is my tag really, except for a little bit of stamping. So the stamp I've picked says a little something for you, and I've just got space for that at the top. I've got my real red ink pad, which coordinates with the paper. And I'm just going to stamp that on there. So that stamp is from the Wrapped in Christmas set. I've really enjoyed this set this Christmas. This one's a really nice one for either inside a card, or it's big enough for the front as well. I've used this stitched Noel stamp quite a lot as well. I wonder if the light's shining on that. I hope you can see it. I might even have done that in front of you, I can't remember. And shaded this in with my Stampin' Blends markers to give like an ombre effect. So yeah, it's a lovely set, Wrapped in Christmas. So that's stamped that. So if I want to, I can then write on the back of it. But that's my tag done, because I'm going with quick and easy, so I'm not doing lots and lots of embellishment or anything like that. So I've got a little bit of gold cord here. I think this was from the, Belinda, I need your help here again. The medley, the Christmas medley, and I can't remember what that's called. But I had a bit of that left over. Or it might have even been, actually it might have been from the tags kit. Anyway, it's from one of the kits. So I've just looped that through, put the loop through, put the two ends through the loop and pulled it tight, and that way I can thread that onto my ribbon. So let me I'm just going to tie a knot in that and trim off the ends and then thread it on my ribbons. Rosie's just said my stamp should read Russell eat me. Yeah, he needs no encouragement, Rosie, believe you me. I've lost count of the number of times he's walked through my craft room and said, "Ooh, you don't need those, do you?" I said, "Yes, I do." He had his eye on the quality street that I had for doing these things with, and then he instructed me that I could use any I liked except for the strawberry creams, because he wanted those. So there we are. So I'm just threading that tag on my ribbon, bring in my bag. It's very noisy, I'm sorry if that's loud. And then I'm just going to go round the back and tie a knot, and then tie a bow at the front. hoping I've got enough ribbon. I've used all my scraps on this. So this is a tiny little scrappy piece of ribbon. Yeah, just about, I think I can just about tie a bow in that. Let's see. I'm just going to tuck that knot in underneath the ribbon if I can. Use my scissors to just push that behind, just so it's not seen. There we go. And let's see if I can tie a knot on camera. Not a knot, a bow even. I know I can tie a knot. Let's see if I can tie a bow. Yes, there we are. Belinda said the tags kit she thinks she'd the most wonderful time of the year medley. That's the one I couldn't remember the name of. Right, so thank you very much, Belinda. I knew you would know. You've got an encyclopedic knowledge of the catalogue. Yes, so that gold cord was, I think, from the tags kit. All right, so just trim a tiny bit off this ribbon here. I'm glad I saved that tiny scrap of ribbon. So there we are. That is probably the quickest Christmas gift you will ever make. Quality Street, in a bag, straight out of the catalogue. I've made a little tag with a tag topper punch, a stamped image and a couple of pieces of scrap torn paper, and then I've tied it onto the bag with some scrap pieces of gold cord and a scrap of ribbon. So there we are. That is the end of that. I don't have any measurements of that for you, except to tell you that my card was 2 inches wide, because that slides beautifully into the tag topper punch. So that's my third quick Christmas gift. Let me bring in the others and put them all together so you can see them. Oh, could you hear all that, those rummaging noises off camera? I'll just have to wait. Hi Jenny, nice to see you. You'll have to watch the replay, Jenny, because I've just about finished, but I've been doing quick Christmas gifts. So this is my Cadbury's Heroes box with the Easel card on top. That is my little box of treats, a tiny treat box with a wrap and a tag, and then a gift bag with a tag. So very, very quick and simple. Even with all the talking I've been doing, I've taken, I think, about 45 minutes to make those 3. So I think that qualifies them for being quick Christmas gifts. I'm going to very quickly cover up my camera lens and just bring you back so I can say a proper goodbye to you face to face. I will put photos of these on the page, and I'll put the measurements as well. So if you want to come back and have those for reference, you'll be able to. And I'll do those as quickly as I can this afternoon. Obviously, there'll be the replay of the video there for you as well. So bear with me just while I move everything up. I've also got to take off the special effects and have you back to me. I've got to alter the stand. I think I've managed not to press any buttons I didn't want. Okay, so let's take that off and hopefully you'll be able to see me. I seem to have a bright light shining at me. Have I put the flash on properly? Possibly. We'll see if I look all right. Oh, I seem to be there. Let me come a little bit further away and move this. There we go. Am I on screen again? I think I am. Okay, Lorraine said thank you very much for the good ideas. Antriana's saying thank you. All gorgeous. Thank you, Antriana. Have a great Christmas. You too. Rosie's thank you for visiting you in hospital. It cheered you up. It was lovely for us all to be in hospital with you, Rosie. And Lorraine is saying have a good Christmas, everyone. Mary's saying thank you and wishing us a happy Christmas. So thank you so much. It's been lovely to join you all. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, whatever you're doing, whether or not you can see the people you'd like to be with. But take some time, breathe, have a break. Enjoy the time between Christmas and New Year. Have a fabulous New Year. And I think we'll all be glad to see the back of this year. And I am sure that next year will be better. Maybe not immediately, but it will be getting better and better next year. We're all ready for that, aren't we? Any final comments? Sandy's saying Merry Christmas to us all. Belinda says thank you and a very happy Christmas to everyone. Jackie says brilliant, she loved them, very timely for her needs too. Can I post a screenshot of the measurements? Absolutely, I will put the measurements up for you, Jackie. They will be there later this afternoon. Okay, so you won't have to sort of pause the video or anything. So it's lovely to see you all, and I hope that you'll be able to join me here again on the 8th of January. So thanks very much. Have a fabulous holiday and a break, and a happy Christmas to you all. Bye-bye.